His MVP. Golf swung, right field. Forget about it. Rangers strike first. Goes after the first one. Drills a high fly ball. Left center field. This game is tied. From Javier. Seager hits a high fly ball. Deep right field. A bomb into first. Drive. It's tied. Corey Seager smashes the ball down the line. Goodbye. Now Seager to right center field, way back there. Gone again. Corey Seager does it again. It's Texas Rangers win the World Series. The Willie Mays Most Valuable Player Trophy presented by Chevrolet. Is there any doubt? Corey Seager.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live, coming at you in the ninth inning, top of the ninth inning. You know, I had every intention of getting on in the eighth inning, but the Rangers bats just going so dang bad right now that inning flew by in about a snap, and here we are, top of the ninth. I mean, it's just about what we expect, right? I mean, I wish I could say that I had higher expectations for the Rangers today coming back home to Arlington, but right about where we've been all season, yeah? Right about where we've been all season long. We're going to finish this one out and hope that we get to witness another miracle on the show. Rangers down one run. It's within reach here. I mean, it is within reach. Hobie Milner coming on, replacing Armstrong. Thought Armstrong had a solid outing. I mean, the bullpen once again, 3 1/3 innings pitched, 2 base runners allowed, 3 strikeouts. I mean, bullpen has been very, very good so far. And really the entire season. Y'all saw the video. Maybe y'all saw the video that I put out earlier today. Bullpen, I think, is the biggest surprise in baseball based on what we all thought going into the year, right? And if you go back, I'm sure I know a lot of y'all are in different groups and threads, and I'm sure that you can find a number of different posts talking about the bullpen, talking about how didn't really know if the Rangers were going to be all right with the bullpen that they had and the guys that they had. So I will say, without adding any kind of big name closers, spending a lot of money on guys left and right to fill out the pen. Biggest surprise to me in 2025 so far is just how good this Rangers bullpen has been. The offense, on the other hand, that's a different story. We're going to get into that offense here in just a little bit. First of all, though, here at Right on Rangers, y'all know the drill. We cover everything sports, but we put a big emphasis on all the teams we love from the great state of Texas, including the Rangers, and especially the Rangers during MLB season. Thank you for choosing Right on Rangers for all of your Texas Rangers content. And shoot, rain or shine, win or loss, lots of runs scored or hardly any runs scored, we are here, ready to talk ball with y'all. Appreciate y'all showing up. This is what being a fan is all about, man. It's not always about lifting trophies in 2023. You got to live in the trenches a little bit sometimes as a baseball fan, and here we go. Hobie Milner, by the way, retires Lawrence Butler. I'm really impressed with him, by the way, not that we're going to go on and on about the A's, but Butler actually handled, I think, Patrick Corbin. He had a home run off of him last week. I've been impressed with him as I've watched him in this series and in the last series. But Hobie Milner, boss that he is, gets Butler to ground out. There's one out here, and we've got Urias up to bat. Urias is 0 for 3 on the night, talking about the A's second baseman. Hobie Milner, ERA down to 2.19 right now. Former Texas Longhorn, one of my favorites. Looks like he just got squeezed a little bit, just absolutely painted that pitch. Change up, low and away. I shouldn't say away, literally right on the corner. Doesn't get the call. So it's 2-0 right now to Urias. Hobie trying to keep it a one-run game at this point. Y'all are already hitting me up with the numbers. 29 games, 87 runs. Just terrible. Really nothing else to say besides that. Brad, what's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. Does Heim DH much? No, but they are going to putting both catchers in the lineup a lot more these days. Appreciate the follow, by the way. Do we have a chance? You always have a chance. And look, I've said it to y'all a number of times. I don't know if the Rangers are going to win this game, but I feel a lot better with it being a one-run game going into the ninth than anything else. Don't want to jinx it, knock on wood behind me, but seriously, I feel like they have a shot. I mean, anything can happen in the ninth inning. Mason Miller, not exactly the guy that you want to face in the ninth, but he can be had. He doesn't save every single game, but it's not going to be easy against Mason Miller. Let's put it that way. I surely am hoping for... Oh, Antonio, you're at the game right now? You're at the game? Or are you just saying live like right now we're live? Shoot. Oh, you're live at the game. Antonio, what's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. That's true dedication. I appreciate you, brother. I wish I was with you right now. I would love to be at a game, even if it was a game like this. I would love to be there. Simeon and Garcia need to be traded. Look, we're going to talk about Adolis Garcia as the game goes on. Luis Urias just walks, by the way. So we're going to have runner on first base, one out, maybe a little double play ball here, get us to the bottom of the ninth. Let me say what's up to everybody on YouTube. John, what's good, man? How can this continue? Sears once again, Cy Young. I mean, JP Sears, every time he pitches against us, looks like prime Barry Zito. I mean, literally prime Barry Zito every time he pitches against the Rangers. I was listening to Jared Sandler before the game. Apparently, Sears has 5 wins against us in his career, might be 6. And that's the most wins he has against any team in the major leagues. The Rangers, 5 wins. Yeah, it really is true. If anybody needs to work on that ERA a little bit, John, I love that. If anybody needs to work on their ERA, if anybody wants to get the numbers down a little bit, just come and play Texas. I am curious, what kind of fortune are you making betting Rangers unders? What kind of fortune are you making taking the under on every Rangers game? Like, seriously, y'all, it's getting ridiculous how many unders have cashed for the Rangers. By the way, JJ Bleday single, Hobie Milner getting into a little bit of trouble here, unfortunately. We've got runners on first and second, one out. You really want to keep this a one-run game. It's not that you're brewing with confidence as it is going into the bottom of the ninth, but you really want to keep this a one-run game. You're making a ton of money betting Rangers unders, though. I think the over-under for tonight's game was like 9, by the way. So you're talking about 9.5. It's 2-1 right now. And you're making a ton of money right now. French Toast, you made 1K betting unders? Good man. Good man. I'm almost kicking myself for not hopping on board. I'm telling you what, though, some of y'all know last year I took a beating betting Rangers money line every single game. Was trying to get the follower count up, get some awareness to the channel, and it was fun, but I lost a lot of money betting Rangers money line last year, and I wanted to kind of scale it back just a little bit. It's all in good fun. It really didn't come out to much a game, like $6 or something, but still, nevertheless, I'm taking a little break from betting Rangers baseball besides my annual futures bet, which I made about a week and a half ago. Always do the futures bet. Hey, what's good? Appreciate it. The GOAT, fan of the name? Hey, love it. Hey, everybody's welcome here. Fan of every team. If you like talking baseball, you come to the right place. All right, y'all. Brad, I'm with you. This is becoming a little bit embarrassing. Just the lack of runs scored, right? It's almost laughable. Like, you just count on it. You just count on it at this point. By the way, Schumann up to bat right now. We've got 1-1 count. Runners on first and second, one out. Looks like we're going to get an out here. Hobie Milner throws a pretty devastating backdoor sweeper, man. That sweeper is something else to watch in motion. I just got a notification. Stars are up 3-0. There we go. They needed a game like this. That game was embarrassing a couple of nights ago. What was it? 4-0. Avs won. Nice to see the Stars up. Schumann, by the way, fouled out right field territory. Dolly comes over and makes the play. We're going to talk Dolly. I know that there's a lot of y'all probably wanting to talk Adolis Garcia. We're going to talk Adolis Garcia. I want to give a little bit of priority to calling the game here and commenting on things as it comes. Really need to get out of this inning without the A's scoring again. Jacob Wilson up to bat right now. It is an 0-1 count. Hobie Milner, nice called strike, nice sinker pitch right on the inside black. And Hobie's going to get out of this one. That was a nice outside changeup, man. Off the plate, get a little roll me over ground ball to Josh Schmidt. And we're going to the bottom of the ninth here. Rangers are going to have Marcus Semien, Josh Young, Adolis Garcia, and if anybody reaches, Jake Berger. Here we go. Here we go. I said it during the game. Now that we're at a commercial break, we can talk a little Adolis Garcia. The RBI opportunities are going to find you no matter where you get put in the lineup. And look, it is the right move to move Adolis down to where he's at. You've got to move Adolis down. Got to move him down. But the RBI opportunities, the RBI spots are going to find you. And they have found Adolis Garcia in a bad way for Rangers fans today. Multiple RBI opportunities, multiple failed ABs. John, I'm not sure on this one. How many times have we left the bases loaded? How many times have we left the bases loaded this year? I'm sure I could get on Baseball Ref and figure it out, but it feels like probably not 5, but maybe 4. Maybe it is 5 or more, man. Maybe it is. But Adolis, of course, leaving the bases loaded a couple innings ago, that would have been huge. And you get the pop-up on a hanging curveball. I mean, that pitch to Adolis with bases loaded, I know it all depends on what you're looking for, but that pitch that he got was a hanging curveball right over the middle of the plate, and you pop it up to the infield. To me, that just tells you all you need to know about how Dolly is going, man. You get that hanging curve right over the plate, and you pop it straight up. I mean, that is a ball that you launch friggin' tank to the left field upper deck, man. And Dolly just couldn't handle it. Just couldn't handle it. A lot of overpaid hitting coming up in the ninth. Brad, salty tonight. I love it, man. There is a lot of money coming up to bat. I mean, look, Dolly and Josh Young not making nearly as much as Marcus Semien, but Mason Miller in the game, by the way. First pitch slider to Marcus Semien. Okay. Going off speed. Mason Miller, not an easy guy to get hits off of. Look, Jock Peterson, I know he pinch hit earlier. He had a nice hit off Mason Miller a few days back in Sacramento. What are the numbers on Miller? 1.80 ERA, so he's been pretty good this year. Yeah, Mason Miller's been pretty good. Appreciate the follows, by the way. Fire Justin Veal. We're going to do this every dang time. By the way, Semien got a pretty generous call. It's 3-0 right now. I got to imagine he's taken all the way, and he does. Marcus Semien draws the leadoff walk. My goodness. Thank you. Look, valid comment. Hitting is down all over baseball this year. They're going to have to figure something out. I don't know what it's going to be, but the averages over the past several years have never been lower historically for the game of baseball. You got to think they're going to be coming up with something to try and encourage more offense. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what the best answer is. I need to unpack that a little bit more in my mind. But yeah, there's going to be, you would think, some kind of reckoning. Marcus Semien, by the way, advances to second. Ground ball, Josh Schmidt to third base. Marcus able to advance. So we have the tying run in scoring position here. Tie and run in scoring position. On a ground ball like that, man, fortunate to get Simi over to second. Dolly takes ball 1. Good for him to lay off that slider. I hope we can get a balance, just locked in Adolis Garcia right now. That's a good sign from Dolly taking that first pitch slider. when you got Mason Miller on the hill, it's not easy pitch to take. But unfortunately, I jinxed him. He comes back, pitch number 2, slider, almost the identical spot. Like, seriously, that was almost the exact same spot. Dolly can't lay off. It's 1-1. Koopa, man, appreciate it. This is one of my favorite hoodies, man. When I saw this on Fanatics, I had to get it. When I went on Fanatics after we won the World Series, there was nothing that didn't look good to me that said World Series champion on it. So I got to say, I've got a ton of World Series champion gear. I'm going to love it forever. I baby like every article of clothing I have that's related to the World Series win. We don't put it in the dryer. We air dry it. We do everything possible to keep these looking good. Oh my gosh. It's awesome, man. I love all of the gear coming out from that World Series championship year. By the way, 2-2 count to Dolly. Takes a called strike right on the black outside corner, a little bit low. So Dolly, 2-strike count. He's going to foul off ball 3. Would have definitely been ball 3 there. Fastball, trying to protect. I totally respect it. So Adolis, 2-2 count here. Marcus Semien on second base. Man, can we get a little green out in the outfield? Can we just get something on the green? I don't need a home run right here. I would love a home run. Don't need a home run. Just tie this game. Come on, Dolly. Seriously, bro. Oh, appreciate all y'all hanging out. High fastball, 102 miles an hour. This count's going to go full. And we will potentially have an opportunity for Jake Berger to come up to the plate. Looks like we're going to get that opportunity now. Dolly is going to strike out, swing in, high cheese. Slider, actually, man, everything's fast with Mason Miller, but high slider looked like it might have been ball 4. I think it would have been ball 4. Y'all at home, let me know what y'all thought. I think that would have been ball 4 had he not swung at that slider. Dolly's just not in a good way right now, man. He's just not in a good way. Dustin Harris replacing Jake Berger, by the way. They're going to go do a little mound visit here. I'm sure they want to talk a little bit about Dustin Harris, a guy that's got home run pop. Dustin Harris can drive the ball out of the ballpark. I'm sure they want to talk it over. Not that he is the biggest threat on the Rangers bench, but you know what? Talk it over. Called strike 1, slider right on the inside corner. Little respect, I think, shown to Dustin Harris with that first pitch slider. Although Mason Miller's thrown the first pitch slider a lot today. I feel like almost every batter has seen a first pitch slider. Dustin down 0-1. Rangers down to their last out here. Marcus Semien on second base, just looking for a little single here. Just get this game tied. I don't need to get greedy. A lot of green out there, Dustin. Come on, baby. 1-2 count right now. A little foul tip. Dustin tried to get up and get that high fastball. Looked like it might have been ball 2. Would have been close. Might have been ball 2. But Dustin hacking, trying to make something happen. And the Rangers are down to their last strike. Yeah, it would have been ball 4 for sure on Adolis Garcia. As I go back and I look at the StatCast, definitely would have been ball 4. Ugh. That's going to do it, y'all. Little ground out to second base and game over. Game over. 2-1. Ugh. It's getting painful. It is getting painful. I just can't believe how bad the offense is at times. Like, it's just mind-blowing to me how you can be this bad. Like, across the board, right? It's not like there's just like one black hole, 2 black holes in the lineup. It's like there's 5. There's 6. It's really, really tough to watch. Kevin Pillar, 0 for. Wyatt Langford, God bless him. He's been great this year. He goes 0 for. When Wyatt goes 0 for, it's not going to be a great night. What's crazy, though, is you really still saw the Rangers get a ton of opportunities. The Rangers had a ton of opportunities. I personally don't know if I can blame Wyatt Langford here for going 0 for. It's not like you can get on him anyways. He's been one of the main producers, but y'all know what I'm saying. Like, They had plenty of opportunities regardless of Wyatt's 0 for night. Jonah was good today, 2 for 4. He had a couple of nice hits. Josh Young, Marcus Simeon each go 1 for 3 with the walk. Look, Marcus getting on base there. That was great. Taking a walk to lead off the 9th inning. Very clutch. Dolly in that 7 spot, 0 for 4. There's just nowhere to hide Adolis right now. Nowhere to hide him. Except on the bench, not playing. There's nowhere to hide him, though, right now. You put him down in the 7 spot thinking it's going to make a difference. Nope. It's a good lesson, man. It really is, because sometimes even I get caught up in, just move him down in the order. It'd be so much better. But we all know how baseball works. We know how baseball go. It's just going to find you. The big spot is going to find you. Oh, my goodness. Here we go. Let me keep going here. I got to get back to YouTube comments. Appreciate all y'all. Let's see. What do I got? Eric, what's good, man? Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. Yeah, this team, the offense is a joke. Like, the pitching is championship level, championship caliber pitching. The offense is a joke. Harrison, what's good, brother? Appreciate you hanging out. It's hard to believe what we're seeing right now. Hard to believe. It's embarrassing. I agree. Micah, totally agree. Every game except that one in Sacramento. I'm with you, Zach. Like, going back, 6 days ago? That was the best I think we've ever seen this offense. And we got one game with it because Corey Seager goes down with the hamstring injury. So frustrating. And it's like, there's no new take on the game today. You tried to switch up the lineup again. And I think we got to be careful. Like, we've all been wanting, at least most of the people that I've been hanging out with here on the lives want to see the lineup change. And then I hop on and somebody's complaining about Bochy moving things around too much. I think you got to have it one way or another. You got to make up your mind. For me, try anything. The lineup changes today didn't bother me at all. I didn't really think that the lineup change today was going to mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. But I will say this. The lefty lineup that the Rangers put out is never my favorite. Like Josh Smith, you're moving him down to the 9 hole. He went 0 for today, and Josh Smith is not in a great stretch of games. Don't take this as hate, but he's not hitting well over his last 7 games, his last week. He's cooled off a little bit. That doesn't mean he's a bad hitter. That doesn't mean we think Josh Smith is trash, but we're just giving y'all the stats here. Over the last week, Josh has cooled off considerably. And so you got Josh in the 9 spot. And really the right-handed lineup to me, when we're facing a righty starter, is the most potent anyways. And so anytime we're facing a lefty, I can't say I start feeling super great about the Rangers' chances. JP Sears has really dominated the Rangers in recent years, the past couple of years. Patrick Corbin, I thought, pitched well enough today. He kept the Rangers in the ball game, gave up too many hits, too many leadoff hits. The A's had a lot of leadoff runners on, and finally he got burned by it. And he got burned by the Rangers' lack of run support. Oof. I got to get to y'all's comments here. They never hit Sears, Gary. It's true. Rockies still have more runs than the Rangers, even with 4 wins. It's ridiculous. Who can hit down in AAA? I don't even know. You going to bring up Evan Carter? That feels like one of the only moves at this point. And who are you going to bench, right? So you bring up somebody from AAA. Who are you benching? That's the tough spot that the Rangers are really going to start to find themselves in, is you're going to have to start benching guys that you projected to be starters. And I know some of us are like, yeah, let's do it. I don't know. It's just tough. Like you bring up Blaine Krim from AAA. You're benching Berger. I mean, I guess at some point, guys are going to start getting benched. I just don't know, though. Just don't know if at this point you're going to see any kind of big changes like that. I do agree, Caden Adolis. It's becoming a problem. Adolis in the lineup, it's tough. Look, we heard a lot of big talk from Adolis. I think that's what makes it more tough. Like a lot of talk, 50 bombs, a lot of yapping before the season, and now kind of looking exactly like you did in 2024, bro. I'm just not a big fan. I like the confidence from Dolly before the season, but it kind of felt like a little bit of an off season where you needed to just keep your head down and say less. I don't know if y'all are with me on that or not. I like the confidence. I like the swag. Trust me. I love it. But you say you're going to hit 50 homers and then you're doing this. Like, it's not a good look. Not a good look, y'all. Hitting coach is a failure. Yeah, but a lot of these guys weren't hitting well last year without Justin Veal. Like, Veal is definitely on the hot seat. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying don't blame the coach at all. I think the hitting coach, the offensive coordinator, Ecker, everybody's got to take responsibility. But let's not take the onus off of guys that were bad last year with a different hitting coach. At some point, if you've gone through multiple hitting coaches and you still suck, who's really the issue? I don't know. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure some of these things out, y'all. Like, I get the hitting coach is an easy target. I'm not saying that the hitting coach is without blame. I'm not saying that Donnie Ecker is without blame. I am saying guys like Adolis Garcia have been struggling since last year with a different hitting coach. I will say this is my viewpoint. Here's the comment, by the way. A hitting coach can't fix a terrible approach. Hitting coaches can't stand up there and decide which pitches to take, which pitches to swing at. You can work those things in practice, but ultimately it's up to Adolis Garcia and the other players that are in the box swinging the bat to make the right decisions. Like Adolis Garcia today in that last at bat, you take ball one, you literally swing at the exact same pitch for strike one. To me, that tells you everything. It's basically like guessing to me at that point. You're guessing. Dolly, you take ball one, slider off the plate, you swing at the same exact pitch, strike two, you're guessing. You have no idea what's coming. You're not really looking at spin and watching the ball closely. You're guessing. You're hoping fastball, and I'm going to drive it. I think that pretty much typifies exactly where Dolly's at. It's just a guess right now what's coming. And it's really no wonder you're seeing the struggle so much. Yeah, not scoring on leadoff doubles, triples. At some point, coaching is not going to fix some of the things that are happening right now. Now, can you argue culture? Can you argue somebody's got to start lighting it up in that clubhouse? Sure. You can get a little more rah-rah in that clubhouse. I think a lot of Rangers fans would agree. But I do think that the players, the onus needs to be on them. And look, fair enough. When you got Mason Miller throwing 103, at some point you do have to play a little bit of a guessing game because you got to be able to catch up. And a big problem with the Adolis last year was bat speed. So when you're facing these high velocity guys, there is a certain amount of guesswork that needs to happen. But let's be real. Let's be totally transparent. Dolly is doing a lot of guessing with guys that throw softer than 103. So I will give him a little bit, but yeah. I started drinking and quit drinking in this slump. Some of y'all are gold with the comments tonight. Yeah, I know. Offensive coordinator. Look, with all the analytics and everything, it is just becoming it's becoming a lot more commonplace to have all these different coordinators around the game. I'm not a big fan of Josh Smith at 9-hole. Like, I'm really not, but at the same time, he's not going great over the past week. I think the lefty splits actually in his career aren't bad. But, I mean, he went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts today. So I can't say I love the lineup today, though. Yeah, ultra modern. I'm with you. When I saw the lineup today, didn't love it. Didn't love it. But the lefty lineup, it's the worst. I hate when we face lefties because you literally see some of the ugliest lineups. And it's just not even anything you can get excited about. Like I got the little Instagram or whatever, the X post, the nice lineup graphic, and you see who we got 1-2, Pilar, and then Higgy. And nothing against Pilar, nothing against Higgy. It's not like I hate those guys or anything, but I don't really want to see him hitting 1 and 2. I'm not going to lie to you. So the lefty lineup to me, I always just keep my expectations super low because you know it's going to be a disappointment. We keep going here. Josh Smith, I would kind of like to just see man the leadoff spot. I'm kind of with you there. From first in the West to tied for third. What's crazy is, they could win a couple games and be first place again. You really want to see the Rangers just hang around. I don't want to see a big slide. Then you dig yourself a hole like last year, and it's just hard to get out of it. Keep going. Yeah, Gary, I appreciate the comment there. Gary says, thank God nobody's running away with this division. Yeah, I know that there's some Mariners fans, some Astros fans that have been hopping in the comments. Not necessarily on this live, but in some of the videos I put out. There's nobody running away with this division. The Mariners are not that good. The Astros are not that good. You could say the same thing about the Rangers if you want, but nobody is running away with this division. I predicted the Rangers win the division by 2 or 3 games. I don't think they're winning by 5, 6, 7. I think the Rangers are probably going to win this division by 2 or 3 games. And I know maybe that sounds crazy for me to say after the run of games that we've been on, but I still have confidence that the offense can get it turned around. I don't know how far the fall is going to be before that happens, but I do believe it will happen. Corey Seager coming back is going to make a big difference, y'all. It just is. It's a little unfair to go scorched earth on this offense without your best hitter. And Corey Seager is this team's best hitter. We can talk all day long about who's had the hottest start. Josh Smith, Wyatt Langford. Corey Seager is this team's best hitter. And when you don't have your best hitter in the lineup, it does make a difference. Yeah, I'm with you, though. I'm only going to be so patient. Don't take it the wrong way. Y'all know I'm not a fan of the it's early excuses. I think what I'm trying to do is just state a little bit of reality into this whole situation. You don't have your best hitter. I don't think it's the time to go scorched earth on the offense. I'm not saying don't be frustrated. I'm not saying don't get upset at some of the at-bats and some of the ineptitude when it comes to situational hitting. But I am saying when a team doesn't have their best hitter, they're not going to be clicking on all cylinders. So let's see what happens when Corey gets back. Hopefully it'll be this weekend. Hopefully. I know they're probably going to take their time with Siegs. He'll only play if he's absolutely 100% ready to go. But hopefully we see him against the Mariners this weekend. If not, next week. Not used to this level of panic until June or July. Josh, what's good, man? Thanks for the comment. Look, I love it. And maybe it's just me, new. And I know a lot of y'all are new followers. Some of y'all have been following for a couple of years now. I love the amount of panic and the urgency right now. I love it. And so that to me, it does get me fired up that there are other people that are right now not satisfied with where the team's at. Baseball needs to be bigger in Arlington. I've said that forever. You know, you're playing in the same city as the Cowboys now. The Mavericks have gotten big. Baseball needs to be bigger in Arlington. And I know with all y'all, it is already in your world, but I want to see more people make a bigger deal out of baseball in Arlington. I want to see more people caring about Texas Rangers baseball. And I think this kind of banter, this kind of level of urgency around the team at this point in the season, I love it. For me, I do think that you're starting to see the media a little bit hit the panic button on the offense. I'm seeing Evan Grant, Dallas Morning News. A lot of y'all know Evan. starting to see people come out with pieces a little bit more condemning of the offense, and I'm here for it. And the hard questions need to start getting asked. Bruce Bochy, I know, is able to do the coach speak thing. Of course, Boch isn't going to give you a ton in the media. Not going to give you a ton in the media. But I would like to see the questions start to hit a little harder. I really wish that they would open it up a little bit more and interview some of the hitting coaches. And I wish Maddox, the pitching coach, would get interviewed. Not that he's doing a bad job. He's doing awesome. He's freaking killing it right now. But I would like it if they made more coaches available to speak post-game. I think they should. But Justin Beal probably thankful he doesn't have to go out there and address the media after every game. Wouldn't that be something? Ecker and Beal going out there to do a post-game presser. I don't know. Maybe the Rangers media would just be nice to them too. Yeah, they got to hit the panic button, man. When everybody's healthy, this is a great question. What's the lineup when everybody's healthy? Appreciate the comment, man, by the way. Thank you so much. I would say Smith, Langford, Seager, 1, 2, 3. The 4 spot is tough right now, y'all. Like, the 4 spot really is tough. I don't know who I feel great about hitting cleanup at this point, but for right now, I'm going to say Josh Young. After that, I think you got to start going away from Dolly. I think Jock Peterson you put in the 5. Maybe you go Jock 4, Young 5, but I think it's got to be that tandem 4-5. Josh Young and Jock Peterson in either order, 4 or 5. Then after that, I'm probably going with Berger and then Adolis Garcia, Higgy, Heim in the 8 spot, and then I'm going Dustin Harris 9. I don't know. It's not great when you get to the bottom half right now. It's just not. Jock and Berger have been bust so far. Jock looking a little bit better, though. I will say, I know he went 0 for 1 tonight in a pinch hitting role. It's hard to do, but Jock's been looking better. Berger, to me, definitely needs to start coming around. I know he had the base knock today. We'll see. But I think Jock is looking a lot better. Put David Murphy in the lineup. Why can't the Rangers draw walks? A lot of it comes down to approach, and there definitely are teams that are more aggressive than others. The Rangers are an aggressive team up at the plate, and that, I think, does play into the offensive coordinator, Donnie Ecker. That is a philosophy strategy thing. Do we want our hitters to be a little bit more picky, work counts, or do we want our hitters being aggressive, jumping on pitches when they see them? I think that you have to have a balance. There's a time to work the count. There's a time to make the pitcher sweat it out a little bit more. And there's a time to be aggressive and jump on a pitch when you see it. I mean, keep going. Appreciate all y'all. Yeah, it's time to look at everything. Like, CY, he said everybody takes blame. And I do agree with that. I just think I've seen a lot of hitting coach blame. And some of these guys have been bad, y'all. Like, they've been bad since last year before the new hitting coach even got here. Like, at some point, you got to stop blaming the hitting coach. You got to look at the players on the team that have been bad for multiple seasons. 28 Relics, I'm with you. I don't know if it's going to come with Bruce Bochy or not. I don't know if you're going to see him get fired up. Probably not anything public. Maybe behind closed doors. Caden, I know that a lot of us are looking at the farm right now, and I totally get it. A lot of y'all are looking at the farm. Who can we bring up? Like, who? Is there anybody we can bring up? Y'all, I just don't know. I don't know if there's anybody on the farm that you can really bring up and just give a starting spot to. So you bring up Walcott. Who are you benching permanently? You could throw any name out there, but what are they realistically going to do? I don't see them making any drastic moves right now and benching a starter for a guy like Walcott at this point, who's still in Double-A. I don't think anybody is going to come up from the minor leagues and make a big impact. Evan Carter's probably the one guy you look at and say, could we bring him back up and just see what happens? But to bring up Evan Carter and give him permanent playing time, you're going to have him facing lefties. that probably means that Adolis Garcia is coming out, and I don't think they're going to bench Dolly. I don't think that's happening. Yeah, it is a little embarrassing right now, Adam. I'm with you. Manuel, Adolis is a big problem. The problem with him is just the approach at the plate too, right? Swinging at a lot of stuff that's not even close. That's what's concerning. Is it's not that he has a good eye up there, but you're just having the tough luck. Like you're being selective, you're waiting on your pitch, and you're swinging at it. Dolly is whiffing at stuff that's 5 feet outside. Like there's some bad swings and misses from Adolis over the past week. Adam, I'm with you. The more I watch this offense and see why, I got to imagine CY is burning up right now, man. Like you've got to be burning up just watching this offense, like fuming, furious. I know I would be as the president of this club. You're watching your team score the least runs in all of baseball. You got to be beside yourself. I definitely think that CY's wheels are turning to go get a bat. How could they not? Like last year, I feel like last year you did the whole, hey, we just went to the World Series. These guys are going to come around, right? That was the mantra last year. They're going to pick it up. They're going to come around. They were World Series champions last year. Adolis set the record for most RBIs in a postseason. They're going to be fine. We gave a lot of credibility to the offense because of what they did in 2023. And that's why in the video that I just put out yesterday, no more excuses, that was 2023. The expectations have changed. You've had your year of excuses, whatever, World Series hangover. Oh, yeah, you're a great hitter. You're going to figure it out. We've had those excuses. Done. Stop making excuses. There's no excuses for some of this poor play, especially from guys that didn't perform in 2024. And for that reason, I do feel like everything's going to be on the table. I'm absolutely going out and getting a bat. I am not counting on these guys to start turning it around. I think that Corey Seager, Wyatt Langford, Josh Smith, I think they're going to end up having good years. I'm not counting on the rest of this lineup to figure it out. I saw this all of 2024. And if y'all were watching just like me, you saw it too. All of 2024, we watched this team do this. And you know what they kept telling us? It's all going to be fine. They're going to come around. And that's why we didn't go out and get anybody but Carson Kelly to improve the lineup last year. And that's no disrespect to Carson Kelly. No disrespect to him. Great player. Solid player. Not a difference maker. By the way, Stars just went up 4-2. It's getting a little dicey. 3-2 for a second there. Go Stars, man. They got to bounce back here. They've got to get a bat, though. The Rangers do. I don't know how you can keep on going with this lineup and just expect these guys to turn it around. I'm not a fan. May have to sell the whole team at the deadline. They're not going to do that. I think they would have to be pretty bad at the deadline to sell off with how uncompetitive the AL West is right now. Like the AL West is anybody's for the taking. Anybody's for the taking right now. So they would have to be god awful at the trade deadline or around it to sell off, because anybody could take this AL West right now. Scott was good, man. Yeah, 4-2, baby. I just saw it. I've got a couple of different setups. I've got the Stars game in the background. I had the Rangers game on, of course, as we were going live. So not watching the Stars game like 100%, but I'm flipping back and forth between all the different browsers I got open. Go Stars. I don't hope that happens at all. All of y'all that are wanting to sell the team, pump the brakes, get off the ledge. We don't need to sell the team. We do need to retool and potentially think about getting rid of some players. I know that's going to be hard because a lot of us are sentimental about the 2023 team, including me. But you've got to start thinking about selling some guys off or going a different direction with certain guys. I think that is the tough reality. And it's going to be tough for some Rangers fans that really love Adolis Garcia for what he did in 2023. Really love Marcus Semien for what he did in 2023. But if some of these guys continue to not produce, you've got to think about alternatives. You do. You've seen a whole year of it in 2024. How much longer do you want to put up with it in 2025? Like, we're talking about a year and a half long slump for some of these guys. A year and a half long. Like, at what point do you say, this is what this guy is right now, and it's not working? Yeah, a lot of guys, it's true, Mark. The trade value is not great for some of these guys. Now, I do think there's going to be some teams that look at a player like, let's say Adolis Garcia, and say, we can fix him. Hey, score again. I just saw that goal live, by the way. 5-2 now, baby. Let's go. Let's go. 5-2, just like that. Hello. If I'm ahead of y'all, I'm sorry for ruining it, by the way. 5-2, you're about to see a sick goal. That's getting y'all back for all the times I'm live and you guys are ahead of me and you tell me something that happens before it actually does on my screen. Oh, shoot. I would hate to see guys like Marcus and Adolis go as well. But I do think at some point you got to say to yourself, we got to do something different. This guy's not coming around. Oh, shoot. Let me keep going. Get rid of Adolis before Marcus. Well, Marcus has got the big contract, right? Like, Marcus has the big contract. I don't think you're going to easily get rid of Marcus. Dolly, you might just cut bait with altogether. Isn't he a free agent after? Is it next year or is it the year after? It's within the next couple of years. Dolly is a free agent. So they might not even get anything for him. He might just walk. And I really don't think he's going to command a lot in free agency. Like, if Joey Gallo can still get a job for all the years that he did, I'm sure Dolly is going to find work somewhere. But I don't even know if the Rangers are going to be able to get a whole lot from him. Pitching can't stay at this level for that much longer. My only pushback on that would be, don't sleep on our pitching. I think our pitching is actually really solid. It's not like you've got a bunch of flukes with Jacob deGrom, Tyler Mahle, and Nate Eovaldi. It's not like you've got a bunch of fluke pitchers that are overperforming. You've got three really good pitchers in Jacob deGrom, Nate Eovaldi, Tyler Mahle, and you've got some good bullpen arms. Chris Martin is not a slouch. Like, you could maybe make an argument, Robert Garcia, Hobie Milner, Luke Jackson, all those guys are overperforming. Fine. The starting rotation, I don't think you can make the comment they're going to fade off. It can't be this good. I think those guys can be good all season long. I hear what you're saying, though. Like, you're not always going to get these 2-run outings from your pitching staff. You're just not. But I do think that the Rangers pitching is built to be good all year long. Can we get a bag of chips for Jock Peterson? Nobody's touching Jock Peterson's contract right now, y'all. Nobody. Look, I think Leote does need to get traded. Ideally, you're probably going to trade Leote for some kind of bullpen piece. I do think they need to continue to reinforce the bullpen. Look, you brought Dane Dunning up. I really hope Dane Dunning can find his form. The Rangers don't need Dane Dunning to find his form right now. They need Dane Dunning to be able to hit homers, hit 300, 350, and he's not doing that. So bringing up Dane Dunning, it does feel good, but look, bringing up Dane isn't going to fix anything. Unless dude can hit 40 bombs, it really isn't going to matter. I do think, though, a guy like Leote, you could trade and get some depth in the bullpen. I think you need one more guy that can be a high leverage dude. They tried Mark Church. It didn't work out great. They need somebody else that they can throw in high leverage spots. Hobie Milner, and you guys know I love Hobie Milner. I am not so sure Hobie is going to be able to be this nails all season long. I hope to be wrong. And I don't think he's necessarily the dude that you want to be throwing game after game in all these high leverage spots. Pilar at leadoff and Heim cleanup. Ultramodern, that's what you want to see? You want to see Pilar at leadoff and Heim in cleanup? Look, I don't mind Jonah Heim hitting up a little bit more. He's actually had a pretty good year, I think, in the box. Pilar at leadoff, yuck. I'm just not a fan. Not a fan, y'all. Nathan has had a great season, which makes this lineup struggle hurt even more. You talking about Lowe? Yeah, Lowe. I definitely think it hurts watching Nate Lowe do so well, especially with Berger being where he's at. But we got to remember the Nate Lowe trade wasn't necessarily about disbelief or not believing in Nate Lowe as much as it was about the salary. Nate was going to be, 10 or 11 million. Berger is making under $1 million, I believe, and he's controllable for like 4 or 5 more years. Nate Lowe is hitting arbitration, and he's getting to a spot where he's going to be a free agent soon, making more and more money each year. So I get the Nate Lowe trade from a business perspective. They wanted to stay below the luxury tax. That was a big deal. Hate it or love it. That was why they traded Nate Lowe, I think, more than anything. They didn't want to pay the 10 or 11 million dollars. I don't think it was an indictment on Nate Lowe. Like they thought he was horrible and just had to get rid of him. I don't think they wanted to pay the salary. And now you're getting what you pay for. Yeah, that is correct. Ultramodern, it was Pilar in the leadoff spot. And look, Pilar had one good year hitting lefties in the past 4 seasons. That was last year where he hit over 300. I don't think Pilar is this, lefty starting pitcher hitting god. And it feels like that's what the Rangers think about him. I know that he had a start a couple games back against the lefty. I think it was Robbie Ray, right? Got a hit. I don't see Kevin Pilar as, a lefty starter whisperer. Like, I just don't. So for me, I'd much rather have other guys be in the leadoff spot at this point. Let me keep going. Division record 1-6, trade Garcia ASAP. Woo. What do I think's up with Simeon? Regression, getting a little bit older. I don't really know exactly what the best breakdown is. I'd have to go and do a really deep dive. And I am not going to be able to give you all the technical, analytical, but I will say this. It just seems like Marcus is regressing a little bit. Right? Like he is obviously in his early 30s, on the back 9 of his career. And I think you're just seeing a little bit of regression from Marcus. And that's okay. Like Marcus doesn't and isn't going to be an all-star forever. Unfortunately, I do think you're seeing him regress a little bit. And we got a World Series out of his contract. I think we can always be happy about that. But I think we're going to have some tough years with Marcus at the end of this contract. I think he can turn it around and be an adequate hitter from the 5 spot. What does adequate mean? I think Marcus can hit 250 and drive in 75, 80 plus. But I don't think Marcus is going to be hitting 40 bombs and driving in over 100 anymore. I don't think that that's the player that he is right now in his career. And this is the kind of stuff that I mentioned earlier. I think we've got to start coming to terms with. Some of the guys that we loved and became beloved Rangers in 2023 are probably never going to get back to the lore of that season. We had a ton of dudes in 2023 that were punching above their weight class. And I know maybe that sounds disrespectful, but I think it's the truth. We had a lot of guys in 2023 that had career years. And we all thought there was a small chance that maybe it wasn't just an anomaly with some of these guys. And maybe they were going to continue to just get better and better year after year. But I think the reality that you're seeing is there's guys that had a really great 2023 that are just struggling to get back there. And look, we got a World Series out of it. I'm going to keep going back to that statement. But it's a tough reality to come to terms with. We keep going. Simeon not hitting over 250 the rest of his career. I don't know. I could see him doing 250. I don't think that's crazy. Maybe 240. Can you go down to 240, Brad? I don't think he's a 200, 225 hitter the rest of his career. He got off to a bad start this year. I don't know. Appreciate all the follows, by the way. If you're watching right now, you haven't followed the channel yet, hit that follow button. I would be very, very grateful. Smith in center field. Yup. Remember when the Rangers tried to tell us Jock would mash righties? Whoops. Jock's been better, man. Matthew, he's been looking a little bit better. Let's see if Jock can start turning it on here. That would help a lot. Corey Seager back and Jock Peterson hitting righties well. That would go a long way with this lineup. I do agree, though, and obviously some of y'all with the crazy usernames with all the numbers, I'm not going to be able to shout you out, but the comment is this lineup is nothing without Seager. It definitely does feel like when we don't have Corey Seager in the lineup, it's not going to go great. Evan Carter, man, fell off a little bit in 2024, had the back injury, trying to work his way back to the big leagues. I still would love to see the turnaround from him. There are some people, though, kind of going off of what I just said, that don't believe Evan Carter's ever going to make it back to peak form from 2023. I have a little more hope for Evan Carter, but I do think there are some players on this team, they're just never going to repeat 2023, and we've got to separate the emotion from it a little bit because all these guys are so sentimental to us diehards that helped win us our first World Series, and it's hard to let go. It's hard to let go, man. But this is a fan base that has never experienced a World Series championship before, obviously myself included, and I'm having to go through this stuff as it comes. You don't want to see them go away from the lineup that won them a World Series, but at some point, you have to. You have to. Comment says, Scott says, I still believe Simi's clutch, even though he isn't hitting well. Leote and Dolly not clutch. Something to be said about this. Like when Marcus came up in the 9th inning there, I didn't have zero hope. I thought to myself, Marcus is capable of putting together a nice at-bat, and Marcus has had multiple games in the past week where he's come up in the 9th inning and he's gotten a base knock or he's drawn a walk. So I absolutely do agree with that comment. I think Marcus is a guy that can be scrappy and get the hits, get the walk, get on base when you need it. Is he necessarily going to be hitting 300 and driving in a crazy amount of runs? No, but I do think that that's a valid point. Marcus has gotten on base in the late innings. We just haven't been able to come through collectively. Lowe with 20 RBI, literally more than the entire team. Yup. You know Nate Lowe is loving it too. And he was on podcast before the year started, hoping to be able to show his team a little something after they got rid of him. Who wouldn't, man? You get dumped, you get traded. Who doesn't want to show out the next year? Show you what you're missing. Look, in Rangers front office defense, Nate Lowe was terrible for a large majority of 2024. And can we just throw that out there? In their defense, until September when we were eliminated, Nate Lowe was terrible. I don't know if I can really blame the front office for dealing him. I don't know if you want to pay Nate Lowe $11 million to do as badly as he did from May to about August. Nate Lowe didn't turn it on probably till late August, early September. So Nate Lowe, I know, hurts in hindsight, but I cannot blame the front office at all for getting rid of Nate Lowe. I don't think you want to pay Nate Lowe $11 million and then you get from him what you got from May of 2024 all the way until August. And then he decided to flip a switch when we were eliminated from the playoffs. That's how it went, y'all. We got to speak facts into this situation. But yes, do I see Nate Lowe getting 20 RBI and does it hurt a little bit inside? Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me keep going here. I can't keep up with all y'all's comments. I gotta hover on TikTok for a second here. Respect the honest truth always. My uncle is friends with Josh Young's dad. There's definitely a clubhouse issue. I'll leave it at that. Interesting. Look, I don't think that it takes an insider to figure out the Rangers got some issues right now. G-Man, appreciate it, by the way. I definitely think that there are some issues inside the clubhouse. It feels weird to me that you've really heard zero players come out fired up. at all. I don't know. Maybe I am missing some post-game interviews. Y'all let me know if I'm missing it. Have we seen a player come out in the media fired up about how badly the team's playing? And I know that the Rangers' philosophy and mantra in the media is to just be calm, cool, collected. Nothing really bugs anybody. That's just kind of what this team has taken on. They took it on in 2023, right? They didn't get too high or too low. It's just how this team works, right? You'd hear Corey Seager talk about it a lot. Right? I don't know. I haven't heard any player at all get fired up. I'm not saying call out individuals, but even just get fired up. This isn't acceptable. We've got guys popping up in big spots, striking out, terrible approaches. That's why I said, I think I commented on somebody when they were hitting me up after I posted a video. I miss Beltre, man. Beltre, what would he be saying right now to this team if he was in the clubhouse? Rangers badly need a guy like Beltre, somebody that can just take this team, rip them a new one, and change the mentality. Fire Donnie Ecker. Donnie, to me, is going to be, I think, the first one to go. Donnie's been around. He was the bench coach and offensive coordinator. This year, they decided to make Donnie full-time offensive coordinator. I got to think Donnie is probably going to be on the way out before anybody else in the hitting department. Maybe Donnie and Justin go at the same time. I still say the players have got to be the problem at some point over the coaches, especially the ones that have been around for multiple hitting coaches. Yeah, that's what I mean. We just got a new hitting coach, right? So some of these guys, new hitting coach, same problems. Dolly, new hitting coach, same problems. This Dolly was what we were seeing last year, guys. So we can blame Justin all we want, but the reality is some of these guys were bad last year too when Justin wasn't here. Keep going. I don't know why we brought in Dane Dunning. Who did we get rid of? We demoted Bosley, right? We demoted Bosley to AAA. We brought up Dunning. I think Dane's been pitching pretty well in AAA. Bosley hasn't been terrible by any means, but that's what I think. Keep going. Yeah, Jock, I think, is coming around. I feel better, I should say. I don't want to say good. I feel better about Jock. And it's just more of an eye test thing than anything. Although the results have been there a little bit for him. He seems to be hitting the ball hard, seeing the ball better. But definitely, I think Jock, the eye test, looks a lot better than he did the first couple of weeks. Stars are about the only thing cheering me up tonight after watching a game like that. Marcus will be fine. I don't know. That's what they told us, though, all last year, too, right? So that's my only rebuttal. And I don't want you to see it as me being angsty or like popping back at you. But didn't they tell us all of 2024 that these guys would be fine? Marcus will be fine. Jonah will be fine. He'll be fine. He'll figure it out. Bochy would say that literally about every single player. Garcia will be fine. Everybody's going to be fine. That's what they told us all of 2024. Now we're in 2025 and we're seeing some of the same issues. That's my thing. That's my only thing. Do I think they'll start shaking up the roster? Tristan, I think they've got to. Appreciate the comment, bro. What other option do you have? You've jumbled around the lineup. I told y'all they're not going to do anything drastic until Seager gets back. Like, Seager has got to get back for you to really make a judgment about the lineup. If Siegs comes back, I'm not saying he's going to be a savior, but if he comes back and the lineup starts hitting, great. But if Seager comes back and the lineup still is doing this, I think you definitely could see some shakeup. Garcia back injury ruined him. Are we putting it on the injury, though? Come on. I feel like that's a little bit of a cop-out. The back injury is not preventing Adolis Garcia from not swinging at baseballs 5 feet outside the zone, right? I know, like last year with Evan Carter, that was the thing too. Like we were his back injury, Evan Carter's back injury. That's why it was so bad. Evan Carter had terrible plate discipline. A back injury doesn't affect your eyes. So I can only go with the back injury so far. When these guys are swinging at the crap that they're swinging at, I mean, I can't just sit around and be okay with the back injury excuse or whatever the injury was. Like, at some point, your eyes aren't affected by the back, leg, knee ailments. You can stand up there and you can still take pitches that are 5 feet outside the zone. Keep going. Thoughts on Corbin? Austin, what's good, man? Love Corbin. Corbin is this year's Andrew Heaney. Am I right? Corbin is literally Andrew Heaney from 2024. A cheaper Andrew Heaney, because I think Andrew's making $5 million with Pittsburgh. I mean, literally, Patrick Corbin is 2024 Rangers Andrew Heaney. The dude isn't flashy, isn't going to rack up all the stats, isn't going to be the sexiest analytics guy, but the dude pitches well enough to keep you in a ball game and help you win it. Patrick Corbin pitched well enough to win this game today. And you know what? He got into a little bit of trouble in the 5th inning there. I mean, what a freaking cheap double. I hate that, man. I mean, Corbin literally saws off Soderstrom there. I mean, that was a good pitch. You jammed Soderstrom, and he hits a little duck fart down the line for a 2 RBI double. Like, I think the exit velocity was like 70. Like, I mean, Patrick Corbin, I know he probably, I think you could say, gave up too many leadoff runners, leadoff hits, got into trouble, played with fire a little too much, but what a terrible way to give up those 2 runs. You actually make a really good pitch. You saw off the guy up at the plate, and he hits a little floating double down the line, 70 miles an hour off the bat. When's Carter going to come up? My prediction on Carter coming up is like probably June, maybe late May. Why is righty on righty not that big of a deal, but lefty on lefty is the end for guys like Evan? Look, I don't want to get too technical. I definitely could break that down. Maybe I will at another time, but it has a lot to do with angles and spin, and it's just a little bit more difficult from what I understand. I wasn't a lefty, not left-handed, but it has to do a lot with angles, with spin, just being a little bit more difficult to pick up from the left side. I tend to kind of agree with you. I think when you think about it simplistically, growing up, nobody ever thought about that stuff. Like, I feel like the lefty platoon thing is only kind of coming into the league more prominently over the past couple of decades. You think 90s, 80s, it didn't feel like this lefty thing was as big of a deal. That's just my observation. Y'all let me know if I'm getting it wrong on that, but it feels like 2000s and on, the lefty thing has been made into a much bigger deal. I personally, I don't buy into it with Evan Carter. Your top prospect needs to be playing every day. And if it's not working out, great, it's not working out. But I just hate making top prospects into platoon players. Thoughts on Kumar? Kumar Rocker, I think, is going to need to go back down to AAA and continue to refine. That's my honest conclusion on Kumar Rocker. I think he's shown you flashes. I don't think he's ready to have a full-time role in the rotation, especially when John Gray comes back, right? They're not keeping Kumar Rocker over John Gray. And honestly, I think Patrick Corbin is a guy you probably want around over Kumar Rocker at this point. Kumar Rocker's young. There's nothing wrong with him going back down to AAA, getting some more work in a little bit of a lower pressure environment. I mean, Kumar is still less than a year removed from being on the IL from a major injury. I don't think there's anything wrong with him going down to AAA. I would much rather have a guy like Corbin in the rotation than Rocker at this point. I think Rocker's shown you moments of brilliance, but I think what he's displaying is a lot of what Jack Leiter went through last year. I mean, Rocker to me feels like Jack Leiter from last year. Like, he's going to give you flashes, but it's going to look ugly sometimes. And that's what it's looking like for Kumar over the past couple of starts. Appreciate. Daniel Robert got DFA'd. I did see that. Going to ring tomorrow night. Emily, enjoy. I would love to get a Corey Seager replica ring. That would be sick. Mike fired up as well. We keep going. Yeah, offense. A lot of y'all down on the offense. I get it. We keep going. Call up Winston. Evan Carter can save us. I don't know if Evan Carter can save us, y'all. I don't think Evan Carter is saving this offense. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I just don't see it happening. Seager and Evan back in this lineup will change these scores. Maybe these guys need to start stealing bases and creating offense. Leote was the biggest base stealer, but you can't steal first base. So, I mean, Leote was kind of our guy, right? But I do agree. I'd like to see more movement on the base pass as well. I don't think there weren't any games. There were no AAA games tonight. Hardchuck, I just checked it out about 10 minutes ago. There were no AAA games tonight. It was an off day for everybody. Do I have a podcast? This is pretty much my podcast, y'all. Like I don't do any kind of like recorded, pre-recorded. All my podcasts, if you will, are just live like this after every game. So I don't know. I think it's a little bit more authentic, a little more transparent. Like I could easily do a live show where I just yap for an hour, but I'd much rather have the interaction with you guys. I think it's more entertaining. So I've never really given a lot of thought to doing like a pre-recorded, or I just record a podcast, sit and talk to myself for an hour. I'd much rather hang out, take y'all's comments and questions. Cal Raleigh is coming. There's the Cal Raleigh comp. Wouldn't be alive without it. Some of these vets are going to get moved at the deadline. Look, this is a win now window. So I don't think by any means you're going to see a sell-off. I know some of y'all were talking about a sell-off. They're not selling off. This is win now mode. You got Jacob deGrom. You got Nate Eovaldi. Heads are going to roll in the offensive side before they sell off everybody. You've got some huge names. Jacob deGrom, Nate Eovaldi, Tyler Mahle. That is a three-headed monster good enough to win you a playoff series alone. You've just got to figure out the offense. And I really hope they don't just sit back like they did last year. Last year, like I told y'all a little earlier, they were still in denial. Everybody's going to be fine. We're going to figure it out. It's 2025. Last year was last year. It wasn't great. We're seeing the same things this year. Everybody's not going to figure it out. I do not have that hope any longer. Some guys might figure it out. I don't think everybody's figuring it out. Keep going. Wouldn't be surprised if Adolis is moved. That's a guy that you could move. Bruce Bochy, his contract is up after this season. You can move an extra arm and a bat if necessary. We need a guy that can hit. I do think you've got to get a bat. You've got to go get a bat. Somebody that can put a charge in this lineup. I haven't even looked at who's available, but I'm with you. I think you got to go get a bat at the deadline. Scott, you're going on Friday? Let's go. Bring your son. We know that's a little good luck charm, right? What's the record when you and your son go to games? Look, anything. We'll try anything at this point to get the Rangers a win. Seriously. Thoughts on the bullpen? Y'all know how I feel about this bullpen. Look at what this bullpen did tonight. That's what pisses me off, too, about how the offense is playing, is the bullpen guys are getting no love because all we want to do, and I get it, I'm guilty of it, too. All we want to do is talk about the offense and how bad they suck. And when we're losing games like this, we forget about the bullpen and how dominant the bullpen has been. The bullpen tonight went 4 1/3 shutout innings and gave up 4 base runners, struck out 3. The bullpen is phenomenal. Phenomenal. I am so impressed by what we've gotten out of these arms in the pen. And it depresses me thinking that they're not getting the respect that they are owed because of how bad this offense has been. We're fourth right now. Yuck. But like I said, y'all, 2 wins in a row and we're probably back to first place. Yeah, hard Chuck, I gotta think Chris Young. Like, you're not sitting around watching the dominant pitching and thinking to yourself, yeah, let's just chill with what we got and just hope people figure it out on offense. You know CY does not want to waste this pitching. I got a video coming out on this, actually. So, Hard Chuck, you and I, great minds think alike. I got a video coming out on this either later tonight or tomorrow. CY is not going to want to waste this pitching. It would blow my mind. It would shock me if CY does not go out and get a bat at the deadline. You know he sees what's happening right now with the pitching. He doesn't want to waste this. He does not want to waste this. Brad, I'm with you. You got to win division games. You got to win these division games. Look, fortunately, it's not a death sentence this early, and you play so many other teams, but you look back on these games. It's like last year, like this is burned into my mind. Y'all remember when we went to Colorado last year and got swept? Y'all remember that? We went to Colorado last year. It was early in the season, and we got swept. And I said to y'all after those days and after those games, I said, you're going to look back on these games, and it's way early in the season, but you're going to look back on a series like this, getting swept by the Rockies at Coors Field, and it's all going to start adding up. So these losses right now, I know that everybody is going to say it's early, and that is true. But you're going to look back on these games when we're trailing Mariners, Astros late in the year by a couple of games. We were too busy screwing around with the A's and with all these other teams that we should have been beaten up on. It's just not acceptable. Not acceptable. Burger for low. Good one. Good one. Yeah, I'm with you, 28 Relics. We got to stop wasting the pitching. Got to stop wasting it. We gave the A's their first home series win. Oh, that's embarrassing. Shoot, y'all. We've already been going an hour 15. I got to wrap this thing up, man. Let me look at this box score real quick. I don't even want to. So we had Dolly, Smith, Langford, Pilar. 4 guys went over tonight. Only 8 strikeouts, so a lot of contact. That's helpful. Smith struck out twice, the only one to strike out more than once. Bullpen, phenomenal. Patrick Corbin, I thought, was great tonight. 2-1 loss, man. My goodness. Let's preview tomorrow, and then we're going to get on out of here. So tomorrow's game. I think it's another about same time start, right? 7:05 start. Yes, sir. Let's see the pitching matchup, and we'll see what the numbers are. Give me just 1 second while I get things loaded up. We'll go through each lineup, how each lineup has fared against each starter. So identical records, 15-14. DeGrom pitching tomorrow. Thank goodness for that. Hopefully we can not waste a Jacob DeGrom start. It's like the dude's pitching in New York. He can't escape. Dude had a 2 ERA with the Mets and had a losing record. Feels like that's what it's going to be for him this year at this rate. Against DeGrom, let's see. Brown, 2 for 4 with the homer. Butler, 1 for 3. Langoliers, 2 for 6 with the home run. Soderstrom, 2 for 3. Urshela, 2 for 2. Urias, 2 for 8. Wilson, 0 for. Who else is 0 for? Blade is 0 for. And Andujar, 0 for. So you've got about half the lineup that's 0 for against DeGrom. And then you've got the other half that's actually had some success off of him. On the other side, it's a super small sample size. Lopez is the probable starter for the Athletics. Jacob Lopez, 0 ERA on the year. Nobody, it looks like one person, Simeon, is 1 for 1 off of him. Everybody else is 0 for, but we literally have a collective 6 ABs as a team against Lopez. 6 ABs. So small sample size, not a whole lot to read into there. Hopefully the Rangers can give DeGrom a little run support tomorrow. Roof's going to be closed again. Okay. Bichette, he's a free agent after this year. I don't know if they're going to move off Young, Hardchuck. I don't think a lot of Rangers fans want to do that. That would be a bold move, moving off Josh Young. I don't think they're planning on doing that. I think you're going to see them get rid of other guys before they get rid of Josh Young. When is Seager coming back? I think this weekend. Pitching does literally have to get a shutout, Brad, to get a win. They really do. All right, y'all. Hey, we've been going for long enough. I appreciate all y'all hanging out. I'm going to be back tomorrow. We'll put out a reel later on today. 28 relics. I hope you're right. DeGrom shutout, 1-0 victory tomorrow. I'll take it. I'll take a 1-0 DeGrom shutout tomorrow. It doesn't even matter. But I got to head out. Look, tough game tonight, but you know how it is. When you're a diehard, it's rain or shine. We don't not go on the live just because we took an L. We're here. We're going to talk about it. Little group therapy session. We do what we got to do, and it's a new day tomorrow. That's how it goes with baseball. That's how it goes. Corey Seager ring night tomorrow night. Get in line early. Get in line early. And hopefully the spirit of the Corey Seager World Series ring, somebody goes yard. That sure would be nice. Maybe in the same spot of that Game 1 home run. I'll take it. That would be freaking sick. And Jacob DeGrom goes 9 shutout innings. Let's do it. All right, y'all. Hope you have a great rest of your Monday night. We'll be back tomorrow. If I don't see you tomorrow, catch us on the replay. Catch one of the short videos we put out. If you know a diehard, you know somebody that loves the Rangers, please share the video with them. I'd be very, very grateful. And as I say to end nearly every show, God bless and go Rangers.